Bobbot finally happy to have Waspbot after waiting nearly 20 solar cycles. Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another cool toy review. Today, we are reviewing the new Transformers Age of the Primes Wasp from Transformers Animated. Yes, I know it says Fugitive Waspinator, but he wasn't Waspinator quite yet in this body. And yeah, like I said in that intro, we've been waiting almost 20 years for Wasp. This character was introduced in Season 2 of Transformers Animated, which premiered, I want to say 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. 2009 was about 15 years ago, guys. That adds up to a long wait to the first ever officially released Wasp inspired by his appearance in Transformers Animated. Now, I know we got the Waspinator deluxe figure based off of his, well, mutation later on in the series by Black Arachnia, which is a very cool and awesome figure. And honestly, if I had to pick one or the other, Hasbro chose right. However, it wasn't that hard to paint Bumblebee green. And now that we have him in green, I can finally rest and watch the sun rise on a grateful Cybertron. Or at least have this guy in my collection now. And here he is in the packaging, nice open window packaging. You've got robot mode and car mode artwork there on the front. On the side, you've got the statues of some of the primes. On this side, you've got some robot mode artwork of Wasp. On the back, you've got images of his robot mode, his car mode, and yes, he also comes with the rockets and stingers. While he didn't really use the rockets in the show, he definitely had the stingers, and, well, you might as well include them as an accessory since they were released with the Legacy Bumblebee. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Here is Wasp out of the packaging, and he looks incredible. I love his teal, turquoise, and lime green color scheme, and on this figure, they did a really good job with the translucent plastic, with it being this dark purple, and it just makes this character look so much cooler, in my opinion. They did a really good job on his head sculpt. They absolutely nailed his look from animation, including those bright purple eyes. And real quick for comparison, here he is next to Transformers Animated Bumblebee. This is the Legacy release of Bumblebee, which in my opinion is currently the best Transformers Animated Bumblebee. And I also gotta say, I really love that we got Wasp before we got Cliffjumper, because Cliffjumper also existed in this universe. However, he only got released in the Takara line because the line was already canceled here in the States. They were already moving on to the next series, which at that point was Transformers Prime and more Bayverse stuff at the time. So unfortunately, we didn't get Wasp. We didn't get Cliffjumper, but Cliffjumper did get released in Japan, and hopefully we have a Cliffjumper coming based off of this mold as well at some point in the near future, because, I mean, we might as well now, right? And just like Bumblebee here, Wasp comes with his rockets, which you can have his little stingers on to give him a cool little jetpack-like effect. Those do plug onto his back like so. Or you can open up this door panel right here on his arm, flip in that hand, and you can take his stinger and plug that in like so. And this is something that he did do in animation. He did have his stingers, although once again he did not have the rocket boosters. Those were only for Bumblebee, built by Ratchet in the series. He is fully articulated, head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders, kind of. They don't do the full 360, but you get this forward and back. You do get a nice side to side, and you do get a kind of bicep hinge joint right here, as well as a swivel joint just right there at the elbow joint. Wrist joint is on a swivel if you don't have it folded in, and just like with Bumblebee, you can take both of his stingers, put them onto his hands, like so. Make sure they are facing in at that angle because you gotta have those elbows also facing in, and then you can, come on, peg those stingers together to give him a more powerful shock blast, just like Bumblebee had. Next, we have waist articulation, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, and ankle joints go side to side. You have this heel that goes in and out, mostly due to transformation. You can also articulate his little knee pad right here, also due to transformation, if you would like, in robot mode as well. And for comparison, here is Wasp next to Black Arachnia, who was mutated into a cyber-organic body earlier in the series, and in an effort to reverse her mutation and to cure herself of being cyber-organic, she turned poor little Wasp into the monstrous Waspinator in that series using transwarp technology. And what's super cool about his transformation in particular is it's an homage to the movie The Fly, and she uses two teleporters and inserts a wasp in one and, well, wasp in the other, which turned him into Waspinator when merged together, which was really cool and a really creative way to create this character from this one in the series. Transformation is just like with the Legacy Bumblebee figure. We're going to start by removing his rockets from the side of the vehicle mode. Then we're going to open these doors. We're going to flip in those hands, and we're going to leave those doors open. So flip open that door, flip in that hand, leave the door open, turn that forearm kind of to the side like that, and then we're just going to leave those to the side for the moment. Next, we're going to open these panels right here at the shin, fold in that knee, flip around that section, fold up the foot, fold in the heel, and then just close that back panel all the way around, and there is, well, the front quarter of the car pretty much finished up. Next, we're going to do the same thing over here. Straighten that up, fold in that heel, open that panel, close that in, push in that foot, rotate that around, close that up, and then we're just going to peg those legs together like so. Grab that waist and spin that all the way around. Next, we're going to untab this torso section, bring down that head, give that a flip, and then just push that section back up to where it was pretty much. Then we're going to untab the waist, fold this all the way around, tab that windshield into the hood of the car, securing that section, and then all that's left now basically is the arms. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate that down, bring that back, bring those arms up, line that up, push that in, get that tabbed back. Come over here to the other side, line that up, rotate that down, and then push this all into place. Make sure you get it all lined up. Make sure you get that all tabbed back down. Bring this back down. And then that is going to tab right in between the two little wheel wells right there. And here is Wasp in his little green police car, not smart car alt mode, and he looks really good. I love that they went with the translucent purple windows for this one. It looks really good on him and is a nice little foreshadow to the translucent purple wings he's going to have as a Wasp. Just like with the Bumblebee, there is no rear windshield painted or done in translucent plastic. It is just solid green, much like the Bumblebee was solid yellow. Same with these rear windows that should be on this side where those pegs are, but that is for his rocket boosters, because just like Bumblebee can have his rocket boosters in alt mode, so too can Wasp, because, well, when Wasp got to Earth, he was a copycat. And for comparison, here he is next to the Legacy Animated Universe Bumblebee, so you can see those two little guys side by side. And here he is next to animated Black Arachnia in her spider mode, so you can see them side by side in their alt modes. And here he is next to Waspinator proper, because once again, he wasn't Waspinator until Black Arachnia mutated him into Waspinator. He was just Wasp before that. And here they are side by side like this, so you can see how much bigger Waspinator is next to Wasp, and I actually love how well these two figures compare despite the time gap between their releases. It may have taken a little while for this guy to finally get released, and it was very unfortunate that we had a prototype for so long that never did get released, but he was well worth the wait. This mold for Transformers Animated Wasp/Bumblebee is an incredible mold, and the guys at Hasbro and Takara absolutely crushed it when they did this version of the character. And who knows? Maybe there's an updated animated universe Waspinator coming at some point in the near future to complement this little guy right here. Thank you so much for tuning into today's cool toy review featuring the Transformers Age of the Primes Wasp. I definitely didn't want to skip over this little guy, since this is a character that I myself have been anticipating and waiting on Hasbro to put out for a very long time. But that said, Wasp is just another in a long list of obscure characters that have been released over the past few years that have caught many fans like myself by surprise in a very exciting way. Stay tuned for more cool Transformer reviews by liking and subscribing and following us on social media anywhere you can find CoolToyReview.com. Or, of course, check the main website, CoolToyReview.com, for more direct cool toy news, reviews, and more. You can follow me at Triptychonus on social media for more Transformers fan content, Star Wars fan content, and Roger content. And we'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out. Thank you.